Good morning, everybody, and humanity too. It is Monday, March 15th, 2021, and it's our favorite time of the week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name's Paul.
Good morning, all. Good morning, all.
Good morning, Paul. Good morning, all, and good
Yep.
morning, Bev. She doesn't like saying her name, folks, but we'll say it for
Oh, this is Bev.
her.
Ha ha.
Hey, everybody, welcome to our Monday show where Bev is on the same time zone now because it's daylight savings time for most of us, not in Arizona and not in
Not in
Hawaii.
Arizona.
So we are here and we're going to take a risk today. We're going to talk about taking a risk. We love taking a risk, and our whole show here is taking a risk.
You know what? Just getting up in the morning,
It's taking a
taking
risk,
a risk.
putting on my shoes, brushing my teeth, right? That's actually true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I've
uh
often thought, you know what? It takes a lot of courage to be on this planet
it does.
sometimes,
And that's
doesn't
what
it?
we're going to talk about, taking a
Yeah.
risk. We have in our manual a thing called the dilemma. It's how we start the whole manual. And we're going to sort of build on that. We're going to read it to you, we're going to show it to you. If you have any questions about taking a risk or want to make a comment about how you take a risk in your life and what it means to you, please comment. We like to get a little interaction going on here. So we're going to start out with a dilemma, and Bev will start us out, and you can follow along right here and see it.
Okay. Yes, this is lovely. Hey, before we start, didn't you tell me that one morning you walked out into the room and this was just sitting on the table? You don't have any idea who put it there?
Oh, why we put it in that right?
Yeah,
That's how
yeah,
it came to Norman. Somebody just left
interest.
it to him, and so right
Just
from the
left.
beginning, Norman said, "Oh, we should put this in the manual." So we did right from the
It's
beginning.
perfect.
Yep.
It's perfect. Okay, the dilemma. To laugh is to risk appearing a fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out for another is to risk involvement. To expose feelings is to risk rejection. To place your dreams before the crowd is to risk ridicule. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To go forward in the face of overwhelming odds is to risk failure.
But risks must be taken because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, is nothing.
He may avoid suffering and sorrow, but he cannot learn, feel, change, grow, or loved.
Chained by his certitudes, he is a slave. He has fortified his freedom.
He has
Oh,
forfeited his
forfeit.
freedom.
I was going to say forfeit.
Yeah,
That didn't
fortified.
sound right. I was going to go, well, that's a new twist.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. And only a person who takes risks is free.
Which is funny. We talked about freedom last week.
Yeah, yeah.
And there it is. And
There it is.
this whole idea of talking about risk. I was reading a guy named Anthony DeMello. If you've ever read him, he's quite the writer and speaker. He was a Jesuit priest and left that all behind. He was also a psychotherapist. And what he said this morning was, "Life is for the gambler." It really is. Are you ready to risk it? Do you know when you're ready to risk it? And I
Oh, do
thought,
you
well,
know? Isn't
let's
that
yeah, let's talk about
well, let's talk about that in terms of, oh, this is about biotouch.
that.
You know what why I think this is such a great fit, this dilemma that is really part of all of our experience here, right? All of those things that it holds, and and why we keep harping on how BioTouch is here to, on so many levels, on so many aspects of our life. It's here to free us. And I think the operative word is change. Let me begin by saying that the only constant in the universe is change. That's the only thing we can count on, right?
It's happening every moment, every cell in
It
our
from
bodies.
moment to moment is change. So when he says to be a gambler, are you even aware of that? This is where BioTouch is literally here to help in that transition. We all know that we have been in this tremendous time of change for a while, even previous to this pandemic. It was like the pandemic was the straw, right? But we've been on this course for a while. Things are changing, falling apart, falling down. All of our beloved paradigms and social acceptances. We're like you and I were talking before. We're directed each and every moment by social dictates.
Right.
Do this and you can have that. Don't do that and don't do this and don't do that. So I believe that BioTouch is one of the why we say it's a gift is because when you take a risk and enter into um, that moment of having a healing relationship, you're risking what you thought was your experience. And BioTouch is literally here to say there is no risk, because what you truly are is so much more than that little ego that says I'm in fear, I don't like change, I'm not this, I'm not good enough for that, I don't have all those things that we are so good. BioTouch breaks through all of that and
Yeah.
just allows us in that moment to just what, for maybe once in our life, experience a truth about who we are.
Right. And I was working with somebody last week, and she hadn't come in for a long time for her biotouch, and came in and just started breaking down, crying, and stuff, all this stuff she was pretending to live, just was wiped away. She was able to see the pain and the emotional pain and the physical pain she was in just by taking the risk of finally letting herself be touched, letting herself be loved.
Yeah.
And that, as we say, biotouch uh, helps us awaken to our own self-awareness. There's no other self-awareness, but um,
Right.
it allows us to wake up to ourselves and our surroundings and how we're relating to it, and to stop judging ourselves for that. And in that,
Mhm.
as you were just saying, that's where the healing comes forth and allows us to be who we truly are. And I always think about when we go to a health fair. I mean, we could be in the mall, we could be on the street, we could be at a park, and we have a chair, and we're
Right.
standing back there with our t-shirts on. We're like, and we say, "Oh, come, sit down," and they're like, "Oh, wait a
Oh,
minute."
yeah. Some people just kind of look at us and keep going.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But some people take the risk
Yeah.
and they sit down in that chair. And when you're done with that 3 to 5 minute touching of the neck and the head or
Head.
whatever,
Yep.
they open their eyes and they go, "Wow."
Oh, wow. Am I glad I took that risk?
Yes. And it's in that wow. And so, one of the other things I was reading this morning, one of your great American therapists, DeMello, says, it's the aha experience that counts. Merely analyzing gives you no help. It just gives you more information. What you were just talking about that. That's what we receive our whole life. More
Yes.
information, more do
Ah,
this, you'll get that. Do this and you'll get this. We're just trained to be machines. He said,
yeah.
but if you could produce the aha experience, that's insight. That is change. And that's what this psychotherapist scientist, told us at a conference once. When you have a wow experience, you change in the deepest seat of consciousness. And that's what you were just talking about. That's
Yeah,
where the
it's
change happens.
it's almost like, if you think about it, there's just this noise, this chaos around us, just being on the planet. And in that aha moment, and for us, it's always about biotouch. It's almost like the noise shuts off. Like in that moment, you have experienced something, wow, which unfortunately we think it's different than who we truly are. And who we truly are is the wow all the time.
Right.
So biotouch on so many parts of ourself is here to take us if we will but just risk. And by the way, the only thing that biotouch is ever going to offer anybody is peace, uh, a healing, changing on a non-invasive level, honoring, love. Gosh, everything that we truly are, it's offering. And we think that's a wow. So right there, we have to go, oh my gosh, have we been programmed
Yeah. So
with
if
that? What was he saying, Paul, about all that stuff that's going on? That little ego mind that has to analyze.
right,
Over
analyze.
analyzing, right, is
Right.
what we do.
Gathering information. If I
Gathering.
get enough information, I can make a change in my life.
Oh,
But the change can just happen with that light touch. And
yeah.
because we're just addressing the body, and because we're addressing our physical, usually some emotional pain, we just address the body. We don't try to figure out what the problem is. We don't teach people to do that either. But we do know, after experiencing this for so many decades, that just that light touch, if that wow experience happens, if we open up to the wow of who we are, then as our dear friend always said, cellular changes happen in the mind, and the mind creates a different message.
Oh,
And that message of wow or love or risk,
yeah.
the body will follow. It will follow, and we will begin to honor our body and love
Mm.
our body for where it is in this time and space, and then make
Right.
the changes that are appropriate. They won't be out of conflict, though. That's what's nice with biotouch. We see people make changes in their lifestyle not out of conflict. It just sort of happens organically for
I
folks.
know. That's beautiful. That's a really powerful statement right there, because we always think about change, um, is this crisis point, which as we know, and we say in our trainings, no, crisis is sometimes a catalyst for change, because that's sometimes the only way that we will. Because but biotouch is here to take us into that journey, that awareness, that self-awareness, in a gradual, non-threatening, safe, peaceful way. Now,
Right.
and you come into what we call self-awareness, but it's really a recognizing of who you were all along. And
Right.
then you go, wow, look at me. What do we always, it helps you to take responsibility enough to make those choices to change.
And those changes are not us to decide for you. That's another beautiful thing.
That's a whole,
What BioTouch has really helped me understand is, whether you're a meat eater or a pure vegetarian, whether you get a vaccine or you don't get a vaccine, those are things of the body. And you
right.
and your body have to figure out what works for you.
Yep,
And there's already more than
absolutely.
enough information and conflicting information, but I really think BioTouch can help you take that moment to go within and to know what it is you need to do. And
Yeah,
it's not about somebody agreeing or disagreeing with you. It empowers you in
right.
your own self awareness to make that choice. And that's why I love doing BioTouch.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because the other half of that relationship, the one that is doing biotouch, gets that for themselves as well.
Right,
That
right,
is why we know biotouch is the perfect relationship. It's not just about me as a practitioner doing biotouch. I know that in that meeting of two, an honoring of two souls, that each of us is going to take away from that experience together something that we need. It's not just about the one receiving it. I'm going to have some, if I'm paying attention, something. I'm going to get something. That's
Which is why we don't really, in our manual, talk about a practitioner. We call them an associate.
well, this is true.
One who is in company with another in
Another
equality in sharing. And that's,
equality.
you know,
Yeah.
that's what this is about. We're all equal. We're all bozos on the boat, as I like to say. We're all trying to
Yep.
write our story in this short amount of time.
We
Again,
need to
this,
leave each other alone and letting each other
yeah,
have that journey. Don't
it,
try to mess with my journey.
it,
It's not yours, it's mine.
right, and does it really matter? It's just a speck of time. I mean,
Yeah.
DeMello this morning was also taking us out into the universes and the 10,000 universes and the 10,000 universes, and then tracing it back to this little speck of this planet at the end of some universe. And then I remember when I was a little kid, look up in the sky and go, and then look at myself in relation to that. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
oh my God,
I
like I
know.
think it really matters.
That's what when I start letting myself go to that extent, I'm like, and I was whining about what?
Right.
Oh my Lord.
So we're asking you all to take a risk and try BioTouch. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't have to make a change in your life. It's just about taking that risk and reaching out and touching someone. Let's teach you a little bit some more. Let's teach you. We'll just show the first part of this shoulder set, and you do both sides. And this can take care of any shoulder problem. It could be a locked up shoulder, bursitis. You might have banged it. You might sleep on it wrong. But here it is here.
The shoulder set may be used to address conditions affecting the shoulders, such as general pain, arthritis, and bursitis. The shoulder set is performed in 3 distinct steps. Each step uses a different hold point in conjunction with a different sweep. All 3 sweeps end at E, which is at the tip of the shoulder. Step 1. Hold point 1, which is just below the tip of the shoulder. With the other hand, sweep along line 1A, beginning at the center of the neck at the base of the skull. Sweep down the neck to the top of the big bone, then turn and continue across the back of the muscle at the top of the shoulder, ending at E. Step 2. Hold point 2, which is located on the back of the shoulder, at the soft area just below the shoulder bone and directly above the armpit. It is approximately halfway between the top of the armpit and the top of the shoulder. With the other hand, sweep along line 2A, beginning at the center of the neck at the base of the skull. Sweep down the back directly on the spine to a point just above the bottom of the shoulder blade. Sweep up and across the shoulder blade, ending your sweep again at E. For step 3, hold point 3, which is located on the front of the shoulder, just below the shoulder bone, directly above the armpit. It is approximately halfway between the top of the armpit and the top of the shoulder. With the other hand, sweep along line 3A, beginning on the muscle behind and beneath the earlobe. Sweep down the neck and across the front of the muscle at the top of the shoulder, ending again at E. Although
There you go. And you do both sides,
Both
even if
sides.
one side's a problem, and then just do some local touching around that area.
It is very, very effective.
Yep.
That's
We have Denise
that's
who said it's also a perfect relationship in a family. So that,
oh yes.
it doesn't, that's what we really hope. We're really pushing to
That's
get
it.
massage therapists to do this in their massage therapy practice, but we really hope that you'll all take this and use it at home. So one of
Yeah.
our workshops coming up is with Zagul Abdel Salam from Dubai. We're excited
Oh yeah.
for you all to hear what he has to say about autism. Again, I forgot that A up there. Autism spectrum disorder, and that's going to be when is it? 25th, 6 p.m. live, and then of course it'll also be on YouTube and our live stream and on our personal website, justtouch.com. And our next virtual training is coming up next week, folks, on the 23rd, which is actually a Tuesday, not a Saturday. Tuesday, the 23rd. And that's 9 to 4:30. A massage therapist, 8 continuing ed credits. If you know a massage therapist, please send them our way. We'd love to teach them how to use this ergonomically helpful practice called BioTouch.
Yep.
All right, we did it. We took a risk.
We did again. Yeah.
Another Monday. We took another Monday risk, and you all took a risk listening to us.
Listening to us.
Yeah. So we're going to play Horace Barnes' little ditty again, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great week.
I can feel the pain in sunshine or rain, so it's not caused by the weather, but it doesn't hurt that much after I feel your loving touch and we spend some time together. You take my pain away each and every day. You're an angel from heaven on high. Your butterfly touch helps me heal so much, and I get better as time goes by. You take my pain away.